Hello and welcome to the show. Listen, we've got a great show planned for you. I'm so glad that you could join us. You know, it's all about new beginnings. And I always say that this whole year, that's what it's been about. It's been about doing what God has purposed you to do and just living and stepping into that new beginning. And so we've got a great show planned. When I tell you this guest, I'm excited about Dr. Luis Almedia. Yes. So I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy because we're coming up and we're going to be talking with Dr. A in a minute.
The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
Hello, everybody. It's Finkley of The Michael Finkley Show, and you're watching Gold right now. Why? You're watching The Tammy Show. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show. I told you we've got a great show planned for you. This gentleman that you're going to meet currently is the interim department chair of mass communications at Claflin University. He's dedicated his career to education. I mean, he is not only a certified educator, but he's also a published scholar and a sought-after keynote speaker. In addition to his academic accomplishments, Dr. A is a talented photopreneur specializing in gallery style photography. He has been recognized for his work as an award-winning music and audio producer, showcasing his creative talents across various mediums. And he just received a big award, and we're going to talk about that in a second. So without further ado, come on out, Dr. Luis Almedia.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on a Tammy Show.
Hola, hola, mi amiga.
¿Cómo estás?
Gracias, ¿cómo estás? Gracias. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. See, so you know, Dr. A, I am just elated to have you on the show. When you come on the show, you just light it all up. And so I'm just grateful that you were able to be with us today. So let's talk about who is Dr. A?
Dr. Waze is this guy who is going to be on campus talking with the kids and inspiring them to be their very best. Dr. Way is a friend, is a good guy who believes that life can be better than not good. You see, I'm a person who believes that you can achieve great things when you believe you can do those things. And I'm just a happy person.
Yeah. Well, tell us about your family, Dr. A, because the last time Sophia might have been 8 years old when you were on the show.
Yeah. So a few years back, my daughter was 8 years old. My daughter Sophia is very extroverted. I don't know why she's extroverted.
Really?
So she's 10. It's amazing how kids grow, you know.
That's
I was
right.
just thinking about that today when I came home, and I was telling my wife, I'm going to be in a Tammy show. How cool is that? And I was looking at Sophia, and Sophia we have this love seat sofa, and I say, man, when she's like 10 years old, and she's like the size of the love seat, and I said, what happened here?
Yeah.
So Sophia has grown a lot.
Yeah. Well, you only have 8 more years in the house. And after a while, you all will be empty nesters. So you enjoy those years. And she's such a beautiful and special daughter. You know, Dr. A, when I think about you, I think about the excitement that you bring to Claflin University and to the students and what you've been able to achieve. And now you're the interim chair. Talk about your role and what you do there at Claflin as the associate professor in the Department of Mass Communications.
No, absolutely. So my role, first and foremost, is to ensure that the students are taken care of. We don't exist. I've said that multiple times publicly in private conversations with students, faculty, and staff. We don't exist if the kids are not there.
That's right.
Do you see? So my job as a unit head is to make sure that our kids get the very best education and treatment that we can give them. And as long as the Lord gives me the health to do this, I'm going to do exactly that. Put my
Yeah.
kids first, and I'm going to defend them. So I'm, Tammy, I was thinking about this. I'm almost 50 years old, So,
No,
oh, yeah, Dr.
no.
Wade's getting
I
old
don't
here.
believe it. I don't believe it.
But no, but seriously, I'm almost 50. And
Wow.
our kids, our students, and when I say kids, I say kids in very loving way. Of course,
Hmm.
they are young adults, but our students, the majority of our students are from between the ages of 18 to 22,
That's right.
sometimes 23. And when I was 22, when I was 21 and 19, I needed help. I needed assistance, grace. We all make our mistakes, and we all did that. Come on.
Hmm.
Now that I'm a little older and have lived a little more, I feel responsible for students to be well taken care of. So, for example, one of the things that I felt was necessary for a department to do immediately was to start producing more content for the new media. And we have
Mm.
exploded in these past 2 years. The kids now, you go to meltdowns, and meltdowns are those events on campus where we have some fun,
Hmm.
part of extra curriculum activities. Is a great sign of a great institution, which Claflin is an amazing university. And we have outstanding leadership. And I've said this publicly, and I said it again. I'm having the opportunity. I'm a fan of Dr. Warmack. He's one of the
Yes.
leaders that you don't see leadership like that all that often. His authenticity is, in my opinion, unmatched.
Hmm.
What we have with our department is a reflection of an institution who is advancing this mission of elevation and transformation. We're going to a new level. That's basically what we're doing. So, what I felt would be important was to introduce this agenda of production immediately. And once we did that, then I felt, okay, cool. Now we're kind of doing this. We're going to do that a little more. So, why not give our students the opportunity to work with athletics?
Mm.
Because if you can do live, and you know this, Tammy, if you can
Hmm.
do live, you can do anything.
That's right. That's right.
Those who know, they do live. So I felt, why don't we maybe position our department to give our kids that opportunity? So let's create like a system that gives them the opportunity to do a little bit of videography, a little bit of photography, a little bit of audio production, and then
Hmm.
let's do some video editing, audio editing, post production, let's do
Mm.
live production. And we have. And I felt, oh, how cool is that? But it'd be very nice if we also had a TV set. And I start like dreaming.
Hmm.
And I say, why not? So I found a way to get a TV set for mass communications. It's absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Since then, we brought the Baja Academy to our studio. We got Aristo Middle School
Mm.
and many others, visitors, and the kids who come to the studio and they're on cameras. Then we're also not only training the kids to be outstanding professionals in media, but also training the kids to inspire the elementary kids to be in this business because they are the future.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
felt that there will be an excellent opportunity at the Panthers back on print. See, I like media, I like paper.
Yes. Yes.
No, I know that it's good that we produce those articles. That's great, but can you just read like paper? I want to read
Paper.
it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I'm a print guy. In PDF, no problem. So our kids are producing content, and
Hmm.
that's how I see it. And as I think about what is going to come next, and I can review this here. I already spoke on our faculty meeting. I am already introduced the idea that we're going to be creating a new strategic plan for what will be coming next to to revise our curriculum to AMC accreditation. In my book, Tammy, I'm one of those folks who believe that accreditation is a good thing because accreditation is an affirmation that we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Hmm. Hmm.
And not only this represents the quality of Claflin University, which is an outstanding HBCU, but also is the right thing to do. Our kids deserve that. And so I'm working on this with the faculty, and it's exciting. Classes like social activism,
Mm.
media
Hmm.
and AI, those classes
Yes.
are not there.
Yes.
And so on, like field production, studio production. It's not
Production.
always television. Maybe we can build like a studio production for streaming. and those kind of things. This show is a streaming show. How wonderful!
Yes.
Of course. How
Yes.
to use telecommunication, how to use Zoom professionally. Now, those are skill sets that our kids then would need to know in
Mhm.
this
In this
age.
age. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
what.
age. You know, Dr. A, as you have been talking about the affirmation of what has been happening at Claflin, but I want to talk about the affirmation of what you've been doing as the professional, because you just received a big PR honor, a big award. And I want you to kind of tell us a little bit about it. And so that people understand the type of professional that you are and how you're really helping kids in the PR business, in this industry.
Well, Tammy, I'm glad you asked that question, and I'll tell you why. Because Dr. A is a very different professor. I am. I know that. See,
Yeah.
I guess that self-awareness is an important, I guess, skill set to have of understanding, to be able
Mhm.
to quantify. I am a scholar producer, which is not typical in higher education, because in higher education, you often have the scholar or the producer. Usually, a
Mhm.
scholar does most of the work in either quantitative or qualitative studies to try to answer research question and advance the field academically that way. Or you can have a producer who is
Mhm.
producing content on the side, sometimes as an actual producer and envisioning how things are going to look like, or the hands-on kind, which is my case for the new media. And so I'm a combination of both. It's weird how it worked, but I felt that it was the right thing to do. In fact, I started that agenda after 2015 when I was at Jackson State. I got tenure at Indiana University in Pennsylvania, and I wrote books, published a lot,
Mhm. Yes.
you know. And but I was not producing much. I was the scholar kind, right?
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
started thinking, wait a second, when I'm doing all this research, only research, and I'm a quantitative researcher by training, I'm experimental design research. I know a lot about research, Tammy. Yeah,
Mhm.
I do.
Yeah.
I actually do know. And because that's so folks sometimes think, Dr. A, you're the producer guy. I say, I know, but I know
But
that one independent variable nominal and one dependent variable nominal use a chi-square. You add
exactly.
functions, in a different way, different kind of method. I understand this, but then the kids, when we're teaching the kids the kids often don't like research. And I
Mhm.
felt, what am I missing to give my kids what they really need for their professional career, for them to graduate? And I remember that when I took the position at Jackson State in Mississippi, I said, well, I had two goals. One is to work in HBCUs. That's number one reason. And I loved it. And the second was to give an opportunity to literally do more work in production in the South. And when I went there, I went to this new renaissance. I was writing for the paper and wrote columns in multiple papers to be able to be more practical. And I started getting my camera out a lot more. And I created a business in photography. So what you see
Mhm.
here, this is just like part of my. I have a cave here. I wish I could show you like my green screen. I do all this professional photography on the side.
Wow.
And but I felt my kids need that. Well, it was in 2016. And in 2016 and beyond, I put a lot of time in the new media. And I saw this coming and I say, man, I don't think that traditional media is going to hold that much longer.
Mhm.
And our kids are going to have to be able to be producers of content. So I literally spent,
Mm.
one summer, I don't kid you, I put 100 hours of professional development on my own.
Wow.
No
Wow.
joke.
Right.
So that's one of the activities that I did to help my kids out. And then start going to competition. I remember that at Lee University a few years back, I was collaborating with Jose, which ended up winning the Latin Grammy twice.
Mhm.
But he used now he's actually going to put that on record.
All
He used
right.
my social media strategy, and he gave me the credit for this for winning the Grammy. So
Mm.
when I say, "Oh, Luis, I use your stuff," I feel bad. I should call the academy to give you like a Grammy. I say, "Bro, I don't. We can use it." But
Yeah.
you see, it's strategic communication. It's strategic, the work that we do. So in which ways can we inspire students to be the next producer of content? I cannot teach somebody, anyone, to do a skill set if I don't
If you
have it.
don't know it, wow, Dr. A,
You
that's
see?
that. And let me tell you, you really talking some good stuff right here. So we're going to come back. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back. And I just kind of want to talk with you about strengthening the mass communications program, how you're doing that, and some of those other things that you see 5 years from now. We're going to talk about the future, Dr. A. All right, we'll be right back. Okay. Thanks,
Thank you.
Dr. A. We'll be right back, folks.
The Orangeburg County Conference Center supports downtown Orangeburg and our surrounding communities. The 6,000 plus square foot space is ideal for groups of up to 400 people attending corporate meetings, conventions, workshops, and special events. Conference Center staff are inspired to ensure that everyone can enjoy the modern amenities. State-of-the-art ballroom that accommodates up to 400 guests banquet style and 430 guests theater style. A warming kitchen with hot boxes, ice machine, refrigerator, freezer, and counter space. A lobby that accommodates 150 guests with special events outdoors. The comfortable outdoor amphitheater has a video wall and seating. Adjacent to the amphitheater is 12,000 plus square feet of green space that extends events outside, plus complimentary on-site event parking and additional parking across the street. Your event can take place all in one spectacular location. We welcome your special event in Orangeburg.
Greetings. This is Chief Bode, a gentleman Saray of the Gunner Nation of North America, and you are now tuned in to the Tammy Show.
Welcome back to the show. We have Dr. Luis Almedia, the interim chair and associate professor in the Department of Mass Communications at California University. And if you're just joining us, Dr. A has really been talking about what our young people are interested in as far as media and what he's been doing to really create this cohesiveness for them to be able to work in this industry. And Dr. A, one of the things that I love that you said was that you saw back in 2016 where the industry was going, that the industry was going into content development, creation, also into streaming, that traditional, like as I was for 20 something years on Comcast, on NBC, ABC, that's now becoming more of a streaming type atmosphere as opposed to sitting in the studio, as you said, and being there on traditional TV. When I asked you, when we talked about it, I wanted to find out from you about strengthening the mass communication program. The things that you mentioned earlier, I mean, you have really been strengthening the program at Claflin University. What are some of those things that you want to continue and the 5-year period in which you want to do it? What do you see the department in 5 years from now?
Well, our department is shifting to a total new curriculum. Just make that also kind of available for the audience. We already are in a process of our own research. We're going to have a meeting outside of campus. We're going to have a conversation with the faculty in an outside location to dream about what is possible in the media for students. But the grand view, I guess, the vision of the department is to transform our department into a service unit for the university. And when I analyze, I've been doing a fair amount of work in this area. When I look and analyze even the big programs, what I notice is so the most innovative ones have classes like social activism, something we talk here in the program, right? And media and AI, and so on, and classes like that, field production. And so we're going to go that route. And they make sense to me. We have all this technology and problems to solve. We might as well teach our kids how to use them and use them strategically in a way that's going to give them the edge against the competition. Now, what I've also noticed is that communication departments, when I say communication departments, mass communications or media production departments, they often don't assist the institution. And I felt, wait a second, shouldn't we partner with the athletics department and help the athletics? It's good for kids, it's good for the institution. They spend less by having to recruit somebody from the outside. We train them
In-house.
specifically. So, for example, we covered the South Carolina conference, ME conference. Our kids were doing the video, the Congress to Campus event. Our kids did the video and the photos. You see, and we keep doing that. The gala, that will be our kids again, as I understand it. Now, Mr. Brothers, which is one of our staff members, is going to be there. So we are redesigning the curriculum already. We already started, where our classes are now in alignment with the projects that we have on campus and sometimes off campus. Is mass communications at Claflin University now, and it's going to scale that in the years to come. So it's a service unit for the university and the community. And how great an opportunity for our kids to have that, because now the kids are able then to be able to produce content not only for their portfolios, but also how to learn how to work with a client.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
What is the systemic implication of going and doing a live event? So now you have to be behind a switcher, and then now you have to make sure that we're doing this work live. So thousands of folks watching. So we need to make sure that we follow a protocol, that we communicate, and we're learning that. So our curriculum then is practical. So a lot of our classes, they already a lot of them are already like that, but they're going to be even more practical in nature, where the kids are developing skill sets as we go, and at the same time the kids are learning how to work with clients. And our staff is retooling. I'm working with our staff also, and staff in faculty, to retool, because most professors in higher education don't produce. They do research, right?
Correct. And that was my next question. As you were talking about doing the research, now you have statistics, now you have measurements that you can use when you say, listen, this is what we are doing, this is what we are planning to do, and this is how it's worked. And so are you going to be able to use that research for funding, to help you with funding as well?
Well, we already started, because I got a grant for the Center for Community News to do exactly that. So CCN is to cover local news. I mean, which better? I mean, this makes total sense, Tammy, if we think about it. The future of higher education, right? I was at Harvard. Maybe I should say this. Let me just also thank the university, Claflin, Dr. Warmack and his leadership. The institution sent me to Harvard for about a week on the management development program. We loved it. And one of the big lessons that we learned there was that the enterprise cannot survive only on tuition. Can happen. So if that's the case, which it is, multiple leaders at Harvard, we saw the numbers. We have to have funding. There's no other option. So to be able to get funding, we have to be able to do research.
Exactly.
Now, or be able to serve a unit, which is why we're becoming a service department, in addition to being an academic department, or serve a unit to be able to assist another unit on campus to produce production that is quantifiable in a grant. Did you see? So it's twofold, and that is kind of the macro strategy of mass communications, in a way that is going to create our unit to be in a niche of a kind. Claflin is a wonderful place. It's an institution with less Yeah, less than 2,000 students. The kids are brilliant. We can do things. And I've said this to the faculty, to my peers at the university, as how I see it. We can do activities at Claflin that you wouldn't be able to be done in a
And
place like Penn State, my alma mater.
yes,
You
yes,
see, we
yes.
can already train the kids to do production from day number one. That's also kind of a vision, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we bring in here, yeah, of course, you don't go to a big school with all these bells and whistles here and there, but you're gonna go to our schools, which has
Yes,
bells and
Bills.
whistles,
What? That's yeah.
but we don't do it.
Yes, yes.
But we start producing content since day number one.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm
You know,
saying?
Dr. A, as we getting close to getting low on our time, but I do want to talk with you because as far as the students, there may be some students who are watching this particular video, and I want you to give them any advice that you would have as they're thinking about entering this industry, the mass communications field. What advice do you have for students?
Well, my advice for the kids, which I give them very often, either in my class or in my office, you have to create content. That's it. And the reason why, Tammy, is not just because of the development of skill set. That's a given. Is because when you produce great content, you can actually go and submit your productions for awards. And I don't think I addressed that, but I won the Marcom Awards in 2023, another one. I'm very thankful for working AI in videography. Artificial intelligence is a big deal. So I
Yes.
felt that for me to ask a kid, again, it goes back to modeling. If I'm
Mhm.
asking a student to do something, if I haven't done it,
Done
I
it.
don't think I have the face to ask that, right? I'm already thinking long term about media and AI. And I say, I want to
Mhm.
make sure that I already have, I mean, this never guarantee, but thank goodness, I won one. But I have like a media and AI award
Mhm.
because it's
Mhm.
coming, Penny. It's a question of time for
That's
us to
right.
literally implement more AI in what we do at a much larger scale. We already do with ChatGPT, but this is a tiny.
Yeah.
So it is to keep producing content and submit for awards. That is my advice. And
That's your
never
advice.
stop
Wow.
working.
That's right. Never stop working. Dr. A, as you're talking about AI, what's your and this is a open-ended question, but I'm going to try to narrow it down. When we talk about AI, where do you see that when it comes to the students in your school at Claflin? How do you even introduce and how do you see AI really fitting in and working the way you want it to work for your students?
No, absolutely. Well, we have talked about that this semester. In fact, in all my classes, kids can use all the AI that they want because that's the future. It's like, why shouldn't we?
Hmm.
And we talk about this. AI is another tool. AI is not the only tool. The
That's right.
problem, the problems that we solve in the media, they are multivariate. They are not univariate. So AI becomes another tool that we can use.
Hmm.
So, for example, in a field of photojournalism, right? I guess photojournalism is not good. It's not a good example because this is with the field of photography. Let's use photography as a little easy to talk about this. So here, I have this camera right here. Good example. This is Nikon D2X from
Yes.
2002, an old school
Yes.
with a 1963 lens manual from Nikon back in the day, back before I was born. And now we can, with AI technology, we can transform this body right here. This
Hmm.
camera right here, I can take. I've been doing that for years, by the way, but I'm just revealing here in the Tammy show
Yeah.
again. You can take all this noise out from the cameras, and you can do all this cool stuff in post production for the development of an artifact using AI. I can transform this 20 megapixel camera into medium
Hmm.
format
Hmm. Wow. Wow.
electronically.
Electronically. Dr. A, you are the man. You are the man. I'm telling you, every time you come on the show, I love talking with you. And I'm going to have you come back on, and we're going to have to do part two. Because this is a great topic, and I think people need to understand where we're going in this industry, because this industry has developed, and it's exciting. This is an exciting time to be in media. Dr. A, what's next for you in your career?
I have thought about this. I have prayed about it from a faith perspective. And the more that I reflect on this, the more that I see that academic administration is where I'm heading, because the academic enterprise, in most of its structure, is very dated. Overall institutions in the country, and to me, the student is always going to be the focus. We exist because the kids exist, and I would like to imagine, it was one exercise that we did at Harvard, to imagine a university that is a lot different than what we have right now. In fact, I thought about this, where we would then look for talent inside of our institutions for the benefit of the student and for the retention of faculty and staff and the kids, for everybody. Mm-hmm. Where we would then look at the faculty members and what they can actually offer the enterprise, the university. So, for example, somebody who is extroverted, who can talk with students, and then I'm just talking about me.
Yeah,
hey! Part of my assignment, I see, and I kind of do that informally, is to recruit. I'm a recruiter, I'm a salesman. Yes. So it will make sense that we will look at contracts in higher education and break down by the types of activities that the enterprise needs without being like a one-size-fits-all for everybody, especially from the academic side. I could help the PR department.
Yep.
Easily.
That's right. Easily.
So, now, the difficulty becomes when it is one more thing that you have to do. Do you see?
Right.
If we start looking and mapping this is just in academic affairs, if we map our faculty in what they do best, and instead of having like a one-size-fits-all contract, you will do individual contracts based on the skill set of each faculty member. Now we have a different university that is going to be self-sustained, where we would then work as a group, as a team.
That's right.
Where the whole idea is to advance. So we have this agenda of elevation and transformation, right? We cannot elevate and transform in our silos. We have to work as a group for the benefit of the enterprise. Wow. So it's a different way of looking at how to structure higher education. And that is done at a higher level.
And that's where you want to, that's where you're heading next.
Yes.
That's what's next for Dr. A.
Yeah. I'm an education reformer.
Hey, Dr. A, listen, I know Dr. Womack, and I always say President Womack is one of the best.
He's great.
I know he's excited about having you there and what you're doing at the department there at Claflin University in the mass communications, because I'm excited. I mean, we are right around the corner from each other here at the studio, and I'm excited and want to get some of your students over here as well. And so, Dr. A, tell me the 3 words that describe you.
3 words?
Yeah,
simple.
3 words.
Real, honest, and enthusiastic.
Yeah, enthusiastic.
Real, honest
and enthusiastic.
Dr.
No point A. Of being fake. No point of being fake. Hey, you know it. Hey, we're very authentic. That's the thing I love about you. You're very authentic. Dr. A standing for authentic. Hey, Dr. A, I love you, man. I love you. Thank you so much for being on the show. Muchas gracias, señor.
Claro, es un placer. Maybe I should take your photograph.
Come on.
Photograph. The media guy is always with a camera everywhere.
That's right, Dr. A. Well, listen, you have a great night, and thank you so much for being with me tonight. And tell Sophia and Mrs. A, Senora, that I said thank you for sharing this time, letting them share this time with me.
You're wonderful. Thank you so much, Tammy. You're literally amazing. And also the Tammy show. I'm so excited.
Listen, I had A on my show. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Listen, God continue to bless you and your family. And thank you again. And we're going to do part 2, Dr. A.
Let's do it.
Okay. That's it. Bye, Dr. A. Love you. Thank you.
Likewise.
All right, folks, you heard it right here. Listen, this was a great show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Tina Ramsey Show, for tuning in as well, and the others that joined us. Dr. A is amazing. If you ever get to Claflin University and you meet Dr. Warmack and you meet his whole team, I mean, you're going to be so impressed. Join us next week as we're going to be talking with Sarah Priester, who is going to join us. I want to thank the producers, of course, Alicia, assistant producers, Willie, Tiana, and Felicia. Remember, please subscribe to the Tammy TV show. That means you can go to the Tammy TV show on YouTube and you can hit that red subscribe button. It's going to notify you. There's a button there with a bell that notifies you of when the show comes on. I'd love for you to join us so that you know every week on Thursdays at 7 p.m. that we're coming on. Remember, let's be a blessing to someone today and every day. Check on somebody today. I'm telling you, encourage somebody, motivate somebody, but more importantly, love one another. Until the next time, take care of yourself. Thank you for joining the show. Bye-bye. Coming up on the next Tammy, I'll be talking with Sarah Priester, First Lady of St. Paul Baptist Church, professor at South Carolina State University, and a community activist. It's all coming up on the Tammy TV Show YouTube channel, Thursday, 7 p.m. See you then.